myself in things that speak to that hopefully I can make people not feel like things are so daunting for them, that their active lifestyle isn't like, oh, you got to run a marathon, or that their health, doesn't think that you have to go on like a 21-day liver cleanse to be healthy, that we can really start to democratize wellness and talk about it and get people, and again, like especially in the United States, like we need to get healthier and it doesn't have to be so extreme. So I think that resonated, honestly. And I think people, I don't know, can I get one of these? Yeah. All right. Yes. You want to be, look, there's two sides of it. There's the intention, and then there's the growth aspect. It would be wrong to say that with business, look, you got to grow. There's no such thing as a business that just wants to just sort of not grow. I mean, you have to have not only what your core values are and your mission, but you want to build, and that's where it can get tricky. I think that's where people can trip on their values. To be in a house of cards. I think that there's growth, and then there's and so there's a you can tell when someone gets greedy, and I think that you got to be conscious of that when you're building business. If there was something that I was going to kind of especially when things start kind of building, you want to be with people who want to do it for the right reasons. So you don't want to be, to me, blind to that. It just happens because you believe in yourself. It just happens because you're authentic. That's where it should start. But there is a part that if you're going to grow, you want to be strategic, you want to be smart, you want to involve yourself with the right people at the right time. There's a lot of things that go into play when you're trying to build something. But if you're someone who's lucky enough to grow, if you don't have the values, I don't want to be on that like runaway train, I think we're living in a time where everybody, everybody wants to build right now, right? And I think the first thing I would say is, why? What's your purpose? It's like, when you engage with someone or you feel like kind of like you're driven to do something, I would just always say, like, the first thing I always do is like, what's the purpose of this? Yeah, yes, it's. How you filling your cup? How do I? Yes. Good question. Honestly, my kids, to an extent, really do. I do it all for them, at the end of the day. I look at my son who's about to go to college, which I can't even believe. Excuse me. He's 17. We're doing college applications right now. And I'm sort of watching him kind of at this precipice of, talk about growth, the beginning of the rest of his life as an independent young man. And seeing him honestly just be such a dope guy, I'm like, that fills my cup, I guess when you have kids that start to get older and you watch them and they sort of thrive, if they're thriving, it just makes you the happiest. That's all. To me, that's all for the mama, right? Yeah. But then there's the personal things, like what fills me up the most is having a real wonderful connection with my friends, like intimate connection, away from my partner, even though I love him so much, my kids, but like actually going out and having my girlfriends, that really fills me up. And meditation really was the biggest thing that changed for me when I was going through the most stressful time in my life. Meditation was the one thing that I was like, I work out, I do all this stuff, but I'm still just messed up in the head. So I started meditating which clearly my mom had done forever, but I was like, you know, I didn't have enough time for. And that changed, honestly changed my everything.
If you have more, you can.
Isn't authentic sounds so boring. It's just, but it's true, but it's like, I wish there was another word to say it, but okay. 3 secrets to success for me in my life is my best girlfriend, who's actually here, was talking to me about the 4 agreements the other day, this book, and that she had just reread it. And I was like, oh, I had read that book a long time ago. There's so much in that book. And I think, I mean, it's almost like it's 4, because that really is a great underlying way to live in terms of your like ethics and your morals. But if I was to translate that into my own, I would say find what makes you happy. And I know that's a very kind of contrived thing to say. And what I mean by that is happiness, I believe you have to work for. It's to be content is a discipline. So what is it that you feel good about in a discipline that you know brings joy to your life? It doesn't matter, and not even in business, right? Just what is that? Because that
makes your heart sing.
What makes you, is it just dancing? Is it riding your bike, cycling? I don't know. Is it doing puzzles? Is it like, what is it that makes you like calm and happy? Is it connecting with your kids? Is it being a mother? Is it, I don't know, whatever it is, right? I think that is at the foundation of everything. Honesty, being honest. I think that's everything. People talk a lot about transparency these days. I'd like to hold them to it. So being honest is huge. And fun. Just like we got one time to do this. This is it. This is all we got. Now, we might come back around, hey, whatever you believe in. But in this body, I've got one time to do it. So I want it to be really fun. And that to me would be my 3. Are they all the same?
Yeah, I love it because they all sound like they're the same. I think that